Alright kids, it's time to play detective. Again. I got another Les Paul here. And it would appear to me that it's a studio. It has, like, the headstock seems correct for a studio. I would assume that this has been changed, swapped out for something that doesn't say studio. But that looks... it looks like the right headstock for a studio. So this is supposed to be like, I think a 50s tribute guitar, something like that, but... oh wow, that's a little... I just noticed that little ding in the headstock. Shitty. Somebody's put Sharpie on it. Hilarious. Okay, anyway, this is a guitar my mate just got in trade. But the minute I looked at it, I was like, oh, wait a second, this has been painted, buddy. This looks like somebody's painted it. It's going to be hard to show, I think, on camera. But the orange peel, to me, like the paint job on this looks home done. This doesn't look like a factory paint job to me. What it looks like to me is that somebody painted over what would have been like a natural mahogany body finish. You know how a lot of these you know how a lot of these Les Pauls now come with like a natural finish on the back and then they let you sort of see the maple cap? A little bit of white on the maple cap. I think somebody's painted this. I think the neck probably was originally black and the front might have originally been black. But that somebody's gone over the entire body. It looks to me. I don't ever remember a studio that left the factory looking like this. This looks like more like an LPJ type paint job. But this headstock, so 2012, I'm gonna have to look up this serial number. But there's a few parts that don't sort of mesh well for me with this guitar. From what I know of studios and what I know of the few LPJs that I've owned, like I've owned several of each, this just, like this paint job doesn't look factory done. If this was a studio, this would be like super gloss, unless this is some special model. But you can tell if you poke around, even not having popped this cap off, that the black seems to have been taped off there, but then if you move around there, then there's black around the inside of this little hole. So I have to pop this off and see how well this is taped off. But it's starting to smell to me like somebody painted this. And I don't really necessarily know if that devalues the guitar at all. I'm just not really sure what it is, because somebody has gone to, I think, some length to cover up what it really is. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just really am curious to know what it is. But this sort of stuff, this sort of finish right here, like that smacks to me like of every Les Paul that I've seen with, you know, an open grain mahogany back where they haven't filled the grain, if they just sort of put an oil finish on it, a light oil finish, or some sort of light poly finish, or whatever the hell they put on them. But it's mostly LPJs with that sort of back. So you see there, like you can totally see the separate maple cap there. You can see the line for the maple cap where they would have left that some natural finish around that if this was a 50s tribute guitar, because the 50s tribute guitars that I've owned, like I owned a gold top that was 50s tribute where the back was this open grain style mahogany. So maybe this really is, I don't know, this maybe really is a factory finish and it's meant to look like that, but it seems strange to me that it would be. There's just a few parts where it looks to me like somebody's done a pretty good job finishing this, but it doesn't look factory to me. Like if you look in some of the corners, like in there, I don't know, maybe that's just worn out, but there are a few little parts like that that make it look to me like, ooh, they were so close with this finish. But you see all that orange peel? Like for a 2012 guitar, there's no way that the finish already took all that orange peel. So I reckon somebody's painted just this body. But if you look at the neck, like you see how the neck is, it's way more glossy and it's wearing the way you would expect a Gibson to wear. Like it's totally different than the way the body is. So I don't know. Maybe it did come from the factory like that. If anybody knows, This stuff here, these knobs, this clearly did not come with this guitar, and neither did those pointers. This stuff wouldn't have come on this level of guitar. I'm not sure what these pickups are yet. I haven't pulled them out or anything like that. This guitar it needs a fret job. The frets are pretty wavy on this guitar, so he's left it here for me to set up and do the frets on it. So we'll get a video out of it, but before we do any of that, I'm really curious to know, see, like, look at that finish. This just does not look factory. And I don't know if I reckon that this devalues the guitar much. Like, this could be, we could fix this up, right? Like, we could sand that down and we could put a nice clear coat on this. It would look really good. I reckon if this was mine, what I would do is I would strip all the black paint off of the back and expose a little bit of this white maple cap and really make it look like it's got a bit of binding, and just put a nice oil finish on the back. But I don't know what kind of paint they've used here. This might be hard to get off. So, I don't know. I'm not going to suggest that right away. But if it were mine, that's what I would do. That's what I would... that would be my first inclination with it. But you see here, like, there's so much that points to this not having been done by a factory. It's just pretty uneven. Anyway, does anyone know if like tribute models came looking like this? I mean, I must admit, I'm certainly no expert. From the few models that I've owned, like the headstock, no LPJ would say that. So I don't know. Is that factory? Does anyone know? Chime in. Oh, you know what? Well, let's get a sound test out of it while we're here, and then maybe that'll give us some more clues. It sounds really good. Let me just set the camera. Just give it a little quick play-a-roo. I like it, but it needs some work. Ooh, that's clean and loud as fudge. Yeah, this thing's loud. Hands are cold. So that's both pickups. Let's see, treble pickup. A little bit underwhelming. Underwhelming. Let's see here, neck pickup. You sound like Dirty, you little pig. Yuck. Okay, does it sound like to you that this thing is going out of tune? Because it's reading perfectly in tune, but as soon as I... Alright, let's... It's like the intonation is off or something's wrong. looks about right, but it just sounds wrong. Maybe it's the nut. Something's wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think of this guitar. I'm underwhelmed. And by the way, I've gone down, well, I had gone down to just one guitar and the amp, but I couldn't pass this up. My friend, for all the work that I've been doing to his guitar, said, yo, listen, I got this guitar, comes with a hard case. What do you say to paying 150 bucks for it? I'm like, okay, sure. So it's a Washburn J3. It's very nice to play. It's got really nice, sorry about the lighting in here, let's see if that'll help. It's got really nice abalone inlay in what looks like pearl inlay. It's really nice looking. It's very, like, detailed. Looks like somebody's rubbed back this scratch guard to a matte finish. But other than that, it looks pretty all original. There's no center block in this guitar. It makes it really nice to play not plugged in. It's got super nice grain. It's like thick as hell. But yeah, check out how cool looking this is. Oh, actually, so part of our deal for this guitar, I ended up giving him a Strat case. I had surplus of Strat case. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And he just gave me back 50 of the 150 that I paid for this. So I actually paid $100 for this guitar cash. With a nice hard case. Yeah, came with a nice hard case. So, that's awesome. So, I don't have a clue what the value of this is, but shit, I couldn't pass it up. It's got Grovers on it. Couldn't pass it up for what effectively ended up being $100. Even at $150, what he was asking me for it. So, it looks like in the construction of this, that this is a few pieces. You can tell there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make up this neck heel. But just look at that, would you? It's really nice. It's really beautiful to behold. And it sounds great. And it plays really well. What's it banging into? Oh, I see, okay. But yeah, just very nicely detailed, interesting guitar. I've never owned a guitar with this sort of bridge right here. This kind of... So that was the other thing that sort of got my interest. Plus, it's pretty beautiful to behold. It's really nice. Oh, it's got a pick in there. Anyway, yeah. So I just thought I'd show that off. But we'll be having a look at this thing too. This is a really neat looking guitar. I've never owned one like this. It's a jazz style guitar. It's actually oddly comfortable to play and not overly heavy. But yeah, cool, hey? So a bit of my free work is starting to pay off. Nice. Alright everyone, have a good weekend. We'll see y'all soon.